So, if you've been anywhere on the internet lately, you've probably heard these two words whispered around. Nano Banana, right? It's this mysterious AI model that just kind of showed up out of nowhere. And almost overnight, creators started calling it a total game changer for editing photos.
So what is all the hype about? Is it really that good? Well, today, we're going to peel back the layers on this thing, see if the magic is for real. And honestly, it all starts with one pretty incredible example.
Okay, just look at this. On the left, you've got a photo of tech reviewer MKBHD. The prompt was simple, and it should have been completely impossible. Flip the phones over. And then on the right, it just did it. And it didn't just guess what the back of a phone looks like. No. It knew what the back of those specific phones looked like, right down to their operating systems. That's not just editing, you know? That's a level of understanding that we just haven't seen before in an image tool.
So what is this thing really? Well, it turns out Nano Banana was just a codename Google was using while they were testing it out. The official name is Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, and its real superpower, it's not just making pictures from scratch. It's the absolutely insane ability to edit photos that already exist with a level of control that honestly feels like magic.
And that feeling of magic? It really boils down to one key idea, something AI image tools have been chasing for years: perfect consistency.
They call it character consistency. And think about it, right? In the past, you might have asked an AI to change the background of a photo, and it would accidentally change the person's face, too. It was so frustrating. Well, this model seems to have solved that. It keeps your subject perfectly identical edit after edit after edit. And this one feature, this is the key that unlocks pretty much everything else this tool can do.
And the best way to really take advantage of this consistency is with the workflow they're calling multi-turn editing. Basically, instead of trying to throw 5 different changes at it all at once, you work in layers. You start with your image, you make one simple change, and then you build on that result with your next change. It's this step-by-step process that gives you that incredible control.
So we know how it works. You've got the consistency, the step-by-step editing. But what does that actually unlock for us? Let's get into the creative superpowers this thing really puts at your fingertips.
All right, let's start with business. Because for entrepreneurs, for marketers, for small business owners, this tool is kind of like having a whole creative agency on your laptop.
Just imagine it. You can totally eliminate the need for expensive photo shoots. You can create endless product mockups on the fly. You could power a virtual try-on for your e-commerce store where the model stays perfectly consistent. You could test hundreds of different ad variations in an afternoon, or even just turn a quick selfie into a polished professional headshot for your LinkedIn. The amount of time and money this saves is, well, it's just astounding.
And this really puts it into perspective. The old way? You're looking at days of planning, thousands of dollars for a big product photo shoot. The new way? You take an existing stock photo, and in seconds, boom, the model is holding your custom-branded product. For anyone in advertising or marketing, that workflow is an absolute game changer.
And hey, it's not just for business. For all the content creators out there, the YouTubers, the artists, the storytellers, this unlocks some wildly creative new doors.
I mean, this is a huge leap forward for telling visual stories. You can finally create a comic strip where your hero looks exactly the same in every single panel. An AI filmmaker could generate an entire scene shot by shot from just one base image. A YouTuber can whip up the perfect eye-catching thumbnail in seconds. And, on a more personal level, it lets all of us become family historians, restoring old and damaged photos.
And just look at the quality you can get. The AI doesn't just splash some color on there, it intelligently repairs the cracks and the damage, it enhances the details, all while keeping that authentic feel of the original. This is way more than just a feature, it's a really powerful way to bring old memories back to life.
But with all this incredible power, you gotta ask, right? Is it perfect? Well, not quite. Like with any brand new tech, there are definitely some rough edges.
In fact, some people have gotten pretty frustrated with it. AI researcher David Shapiro, after struggling with it just to make a simple YouTube thumbnail, he concluded that for certain creative tasks, where you kind of want the AI to think for you, it can be incredibly stubborn and, in his words, kind of useless.
And that really gets to the core trade-off here. The tool is absolutely revolutionary at understanding and preserving the content of an image, the people, the objects, the context, but it can be surprisingly stubborn with the format of an image. It really struggles with things like adding text, changing the aspect ratio, or it gets stuck when you ask for simple, iterative changes. So yeah, it's incredibly precise, but it's not always obedient.
So where does all this leave us?
This tool, it's clearly not perfect, but it does represent a fundamental shift in how we're going to think about creating and editing images from now on.
Which of course leads to the big question that everyone is asking. Is this it? Is this the end for professional tools like Photoshop?
But maybe that's the wrong question to be asking. This might not be about replacement at all. It might be about partnership. It's a new kind of tool that combines your creative vision with the incredible speed and precision of AI. So the real question isn't whether it's going to replace our old tools, but what incredible new things we're all going to create with it.